from a marriage that's about to happen to a collapse that may be around the corner. I thought that was quite well done. The French government is risking collapse in 2 weeks after the French Prime Minister announced a confidence vote over his plan for sweeping budget cuts. Remember, although Macron is head of the country, the Prime Minister is head of the government, in a sense. The three main opposition parties say they will not back François Bayrou in the vote on September the 8th. The Prime Minister's minority government hinges on the socialists. They won't back him unless he changes the budget. And if he does that, well, then, of course, his economics fall apart. He says, the Prime Minister says, France's future is at stake.
Un danger immédiat pèse sur nous.
And an immediate danger weighs on us, which we have to face, not tomorrow or the day after, but today without any kind of delay, without which the future will be taken from us and the present harshly and heavily worsened. Our country is in danger because we are at risk of over-indebtedness.
Now, President Macron lost his previous prime minister in a no-confidence vote because of the budget dispute. France's blue chip index, the CAC, dropped more than 1.5%. Look there, you can see how it's fallen. It's now down 3% on the week. Yael Selfin is a vice chair and chief economist at KPMG UK. All right. The market is telegraphing what? They want the budget to go through. They want certainty.
Well, they want resolution in terms of plans that are credible to deal with the debt and the deficit. And it is unclear whether we're closer to getting that.
The plan put forward by Prime Minister Bayrou does deal with it. It makes them, what was the phrase he used when he announced, earlier in the year? He used some very inflammatory language to describe how serious was the situation. Now, lawmakers, when they go for the vote of no confidence, what do they gain by voting him down?
Well, I think they have their own plan. Essentially, what they want is new election because quite a number of these parties think they may be able to win the next election. So that is really what they play at and what's at stake.
So this would be to vote him down. Macron can't get another government. Essentially, he has to go to the country, which he's already said he's not going to do.
Yes, and that's still a possibility. He may try and get another prime minister and another budget approved. And ultimately, what you will need to do is negotiate better. You need someone who will be able to negotiate better in order to convince the parliamentarians.
You had Barnier, you've had this chap, these are some of the most sophisticated negotiators in the business. They could charm the birds out the trees.
Yes, but ultimately, what you have in France is a fiscal situation that needs hard, very tough decisions to be made. You need to convince the French public that they do need to go through these choices, and they're not ready.
Right. Talking about being ready, what do you make of the independence of the Fed? It's tempting to say, of course it's still independent, of course, but when you see the sort of shenanigans that we're seeing today, and you hear President Trump say, he specifically says, we will have a majority. Is the financial world, people in your position, are you now starting to question the independence of the Fed?
I mean, I think it is unfortunate, especially given the timing. And if you look at it from an economist perspective, I'd say we're already worrying about inflationary pressures in the US because of the tariffs, and lack of credibility of central bank will just make worries increase. So it is extremely unhelpful, and that's what you're seeing in the markets with yields, long-term yields going up, and that is costing all of us, especially US citizens, more money in terms of paying for the debt.
Final on this whole question, though, of what's going within France, the idea that a government, the government falls, a new one comes in, how much power does Macron have anymore? I mean, he's still got the name and the title and all of that, but he doesn't seem to be able to get anything done.
Well, it is almost impossible to have anything done in the sense of economic plan and a strategy to deal with the key issues that the government needs to deal with if you don't have the majority.
Thank you very much indeed. You'll help us understand. Thank you very much indeed.